Hey everybody, Ryan here. So, interesting day of hockey yesterday. 4 games scheduled, only 3 played. That was unexpected and honestly quite fun. That not Tampa Bay Calgary, sorry, Tampa Bay Columbus game. Tampa Bay won that thing 3-2, halfway through the fifth overtime. So they played almost 3 full games yesterday, and they set a couple records too. I know Corpusalo, he set the record for most saves in a game, 85, and most shots faced, 88. So it was a fun game. I mean, it was even in, I want to say it was the fourth overtime. There was still a few scrums at the whistles and that, and usually you don't see that in games that long. it's it's gonna be a long, fun series. So I'm looking forward to this one. But Tampa Bay won 3-2. Game started off with Dubois scoring the first goal on the power play, his fourth of these playoffs from Texier and Jones. Next came Braden Point scoring his second of the playoffs from Kucherov and Hedman. Then there was Bjorkstrand. He scored from Dubois and Kukin. I think that's how you say his name. No, the names are easy to say in this league. Then you got Bjorkstrand, and I'm sorry that I read that one already. It was Yanni Gord who tied it up in the third period from McDonough and Coleman. And then in overtime, fifth one, you had Braden Point's third, his second of the game, from Kucherov and Sergachev. So it was a fun game. Shots were 88-63. I mean, everybody's going to talk about Corpusalo's 88 shots against, 85 saves. And he was number one star, rightfully so. I mean, he faced far more shots, but I mean, you still have Tampa Bay's goalie. I'm terrible with saying his name. I'll read it off later. I'm terrible at his name. But he had 63 saves as well, or 63 shots against, 61 saves. So he still had a dang good game. And then next game was Calgary versus Dallas, which was supposed to be the second game, but it was the first playoff game finished of the day. Starting off first period, power play goal from Dubé, from Lucic and Backlund, which I'm kind of surprised Milan Lucic is on the power play in this day and age, but he still can stand in front of the net. So I mean, it's surprising, but not really surprising. And then later on that period, you had Dubé score again, his third of the playoffs from Gustafsson and Forbert. And at that point, it was like, wow, Dallas looks terrible in this game. Then the second period happened, and Garyanov scored his first goal for Dallas from Heiskanen and Alexiak, followed by Jamie Benn tying it up from Lindell. But then Calgary got one more. Rasmus Anderson got his second from Hannafin. That would be all the goals for the game. So Calgary would win that one 3-2. Honestly, Dallas looked terrible in the first period, but they got better as the game went along. So I'm still sticking with my prediction they're going to win that series. So shots were 26-26, so pretty even. And pretty low shots, which is expected with Dallas. I mean, they always take lower shots. Then, of course, you had the fun of Matthew Tkachuk fighting Corey Perry. The fight was not that exciting, honestly. I think Tkachuk landed 2 or 3 punches, and Perry maybe one. I don't even think that one really landed. But Perry's not a fighter. Tkachuk, not great fighter, but when he's fighting his own weight class, he's good. But it's usually the upper classes that he ticks off most. So, all right, then last game of the day, Vegas versus Chicago. This game went a lot like what I thought it would. I think this whole series is going to go like this. I mean, if there is a series, I would think there is a sweep, it'd be this one. But I still think Chicago's going to pull out at least one in these. But game went like this. Nothing scored in first period. Pretty even first period. I mean, Chicago's coming out of a 4-game series compared to Vegas playing 3 individual games, not having anything really to play for other than positioning. So I think Vegas came out kind of slow in the first period, but I mean, they still played hard, but they could have played better in that first, but they picked up in the second and the third for sure. Second period, you have Theodore. Sorry. I'm a Mighty Ducks, not Mighty Ducks anymore, but I was a Mighty Ducks fan and Anaheim Ducks fan, and I am still sad that they traded him to Vegas because they could use him right now. But he scored his third from Riley Smith and Alec Martinez, and it is weird being a Ducks fan and seeing a former Duck and a former LA King playing as the same defensive pair. It's weird, but new team, new place, not as bad. Then you had second period as well. William Carrier scored his second from Reeves and Nicholas Roy. I'm going to look up to see how exactly he pronounces that. But Carrier and Reeves, a couple of those guys, you hate playing against those guys, but love having them on your team. I'd love to have them on my team, but who wouldn't? Well, except for Washington, maybe. But then you had a shorthanded goal, first one of the actual playoffs, not the play-in rounds. But first shorthanded goal from David Kampf, his first of the playoffs from Sod. Now, at that point, when they scored that, I was like, oh, they're going to take back the momentum. They didn't. They got that one, and Vegas took back over. Third period, you had Riley Smith score his first from Marchessault. Yeah, Marchessault. I'm going to go with that. But, yeah, he got that one. Then you had Riley Smith score again from Marchessault again. And that was it. I mean, those two came later in the third. Pretty much sealed the deal. Vegas outplayed them pretty big today. Or yesterday. Shots were 34-20. So, definitely more chances for one team. And definitely more offensive zone time. But those were games for yesterday. The Boston-Carolina game was moved to today. I'm filming this on Wednesday. And they moved it to this morning. It's already started. It's about 9:45 my local time here in California. And they're already playing. I think it was 2-2 last I saw. So I'll talk about those games tomorrow. But everybody have a good one. I hope everybody enjoyed that 5 overtime game yesterday. I know that was a fun one for me to watch. Started that one at like noon, and it didn't end until long after my wife got home, after 7 o'clock, it seemed like. But, yep, that was the games yesterday, so hopefully you enjoy. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment if you like, and have a good day.